Thanks so much for tuning into the NBA here on 2K Sports. Welcome to Wednesday night here in the NBA. It's the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's off to Cleveland we go for the call by Kevin Harlan alongside analyst Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me in the booth, as always, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And tipping off the NBA season, here are the starting lineups. First for Brooklyn, Tyshawn Taylor is out there with Johnson. And inside out of Stanford University, a skilled post scorer with tremendous size, the 7-footer, Brook Lopez. Then it's Pierce, and it's Garnett in at the 4-man position. And for Cleveland, Irving and Waiters, the guards. And inside a towering 7-footer, maybe the most imposing big man in the game, all-star center, Andrew Bynum. Then it's Alonzo G, and it's Bennett in at the power forward.
You know, as great as 2012 was for the Nets, in many ways, they really came up short on their last game of that calendar year. In 2012, the New Year's Eve matchup against the Spurs, the Nets only scored 5 points in the third quarter of that contest.
And it's the Cavaliers to start out. Irving gets a screen from Bennett. Bennett setting the pick for Irving. He passes to G. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. G's got the first points up on the board for Cleveland. And Clark, you were talking about the Nets. They went from looking like a team that could compete for a title to a team that, while still talented, Steve, and a lot for the playoffs, was a little closer to the middle of the pack than they thought.
Well, with the hot start they got out to, I think it was just a matter of time before they hit a cold stretch. Never fun to be held to just 5 points in a quarter. And that game had a lot of Nets fans wondering how the rest of the season would go. But, hey, they got it back together and still finished off pretty well.
And here is Irving, following the three-pointer by Paul Pierce. And that one's good by G.
That's right where they wanted to go with the ball on that possession.
On defense, Cleveland. This, of course, their first look at the Nets.
And not one of these games went their way last season.
Taylor kicks to Lopez. Bynum on him. Lock at 6. Here's Taylor. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Two teams, Clark, fighting tooth and nail near the top of the conference. That hurts to get swept.
It's certainly demoralizing. You can't help but feel like that team has got your number. They're handling you all the time.
Here's G. Hands it from downtown. G's got 7.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
Taylor passes to Johnson. No good on the triple. That will count. The shot is off. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Cavaliers ahead, up 4.
Bring your costume. It's Halloween in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks take on Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls this Thursday, 7 o'clock Central.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at the Cavaliers' performance here, Clark, Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
So difficult to get a shot off against this defense. They are really playing hard.
Yeah, they're playing hard, and they pride themselves on making it tough for their opponents.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, guys, 2 lottery picks this year out of Canada. Ellie Olynyk out of Gonzaga, taking 13th, and Anthony Bennett out of UNLV, the surprise first overall pick. With the presumptive #1 pick next season coming from Canada, it seems Canadians are taking over the NBA. Bennett said this shows that basketball is on the come-up in Canada. We have a lot of young talent, players in college right now. So the next couple of years should be good for us. Kevin?
Oh, you gotta like that. Thanks, Doris. And that one's good by Pierce.
Well, he's established himself as one of the league's premier clutch performers, with some unbelievable plays down the stretch and tight ball games.
And another thing about his game that's really noticeable is how well he handles defensive pressure when he's getting his shot up. He's a very composed shooter.
He's found a rhythm here in this second quarter, guys. He looks good.
So for the Nets, Tyler Zellers checked in for Verejao. Clark comes in for Tristan Thompson. And it's C.J. Miles in for Alonzo G. It's Anderson with the drive. Back to Evans. He feeds it to Teletovic. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. The Nets shooting their first free throws here for the night.
Now, the numbers last year for them at the line, not great. Just 73% free throw shooting as a team.
And Cleveland making a change here. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Outside Irving. Clark. Back to Irving. Shot clock at 6. Dishes it to Clark. The Cavaliers again can't hit. Beyond the arc. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint.
It's the first game of the NBA season, but on the halftime report, we're already in mid-season form. At Quicken Loans Arena, it's the Cavaliers. The Miami Heat will go up against the 76ers out in Philadelphia. Some star-studded performance sure to be had in that one. Start time, 7 o'clock Eastern.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Have to like what we've been seeing from G.
Yeah, he played a very mature first half offensively, just finding gaps and making good decisions, getting into the defense and knocking down shots.
Well, the way he played that first half, that's exactly what we're talking about when we say offensive efficiency. You know, the Cavs have been very mindful of remaining flexible in terms of the salary cap. And when you do this, you set yourself up to perhaps make a big splash in free agency at some point. And you know what's coming. They might have a chance to re-sign LeBron in 2014 with how their books look.
Taylor against Irving. Taylor dishes to Pierce. Johnson outside. Puts it up from 12. Another miss by Johnson.
The defense did a pretty good job of closing off the middle once he got inside the lane.
And that had been the rumor for a while. The Cavaliers looking to maybe mend some bridges and bring LeBron back in the mix when he gets free agency next year. Their books are certainly in order for it, Steve, and it might happen.
Hey, you never know. I mean, nobody expected LeBron to leave in the first place, so why not give yourself an opportunity? You are in his backyard in terms of LeBron's hometown, so I like what the Cavs have done. They've added young talent, but they've maintained flexibility just in case.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. And it's Bynum with the jam.
Up and in with force after the offensive rebound. I like that tenacity.
Yeah, he is so sturdy. He just battles for every rebound.
Taylor kicks to Johnson. Out to Taylor. Back to Johnson. A sensational shot at the buzzer.
And perfectly timed. Couldn't have done it any better. How about the poise under pressure?
Tune in for a scary night of basketball. Halloween in the NBA. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers this Thursday, 10th.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Jack against Taylor. Jack passes to G. And Thompson kicks to Jack. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. That's good. That's 10 points for G.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the defense still needs to keep an eye on him.
Outside, Taylor. Leads him in there. And Lopez gets it to go.
And there's been zero effort defensively by both these clubs tonight.
And don't let that high score fool you. I mean, it's a product of poor defense more than great offense.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
The Nets making a switch here. Johnson's checked in.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
Jack up on top. Bynum. Jack dishes to G. Pass to Bynum. That one off the back iron and out. Nets trailed by 4. Here's the pass to Johnson. No good from outside. Well, the Cavaliers shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. And Jack kicks to Waiters. Now the dish to Bynum. Johnson's there. 9 feet out. The shot's good from Bynum. And the Cavaliers lead by 6. Bynum's gone 2 of 3 from the field.
Well, it's going to be tough for them, but you have to continue to compete. It's not over. Just play, see what happens.
Yep, you can't afford empty possessions. D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Waiters dishes to Bynum. Tries from 16. Kevin Garnett grabs the miss. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're trailing by 3. 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And Cleveland making a change here. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Feeds it to Pierce. And the pass to Taylor. Misses the 3. And he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, you can't let them pound the ball and just milk those precious seconds away.
No other option here but to foul and hope for a few misses at the line.
And that trip coming up empty, missing both. Timeout called the Nets. They're down by 3. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
With this much time remaining, they should be able to get themselves a decent shot at the basket. Still, a contested 3 is never an easy shot.
Garnett with it.
And a chance here to send it into overtime.
Need a 3.
So it's a narrow win for the Cavaliers, pulling it out. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail ball.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
And that'll do it for this inaugural game of the NBA season. For Dorisburg, Steve Curry, Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying we'll see.